Wow, holy cow. Who would have thought I'd be the only one here today? Well, no, we all knew, right? This is what it's about. We're doing a solo show. Just me, as the boys are at the Chicago Auto Pros influencer event for this weekend. And so you get the Master of Shine literally all to yourself. So hopefully you guys get your questions, your concerns, your answers, and I can do all that, right? That's the goal. I've been a professional detailer for over 25 years as well as a resident of Boise, Idaho for nigh on 876 years. Who would have thought, right? Gates family's roots go deep here in Boise. So welcome everybody. It's Q&A Thursday. It's a delicious Friday Eve, so much so that it's Augie's birthday tomorrow. So the little dude's turning 9 years old. So we've been cleaning the house. We've been getting it ready to go. And he's got a little birthday party on Saturday. So we're trying to get the house picked up and ready to ring in a 9th year with that holy terror of a son. But so super excited about that. The other thing, you'll notice the orange around the room. That's right. We got orange lights. I'm wearing my orange Dixon. The reason for the orangeness is it's King's Day in the Netherlands. So to Rag Company EU, based in the Netherlands, it is a day of partying. I literally texted Patrick and said, Happy King's Day. And he said, thank you, my friend. I sunburned my face from partying downtown with friends and family. So to all my friends over there in the Netherlands, to Hans, to Patrick, to the boys, to everybody that's over there celebrating King's Day in the Netherlands. Happy King's Day. It's awesome. So, all right, let's get this. I got 3 pages here. This is good, guys. Thank you, everybody, asking your questions already and getting them in there so we can do this. So, first things first, we're going to be just getting that stuff. We'll go through the comments, the questions, things like that. But any housekeeping that we have right now, we don't have any new sales or anything coming up, but I do want you guys to make sure you sign up for the newsletter. Obviously, go to theragcompany.com and sign up for the details. Not only do you get a 15% off coupon if it's your first time, but you then get to know and be the first when all the sales happen, when all the new products drop and all that good stuff. Now, next week here at the Rag Company, from the 3rd through the 6th, we are hosting the Dr. Beasley's FODAPC, which stands for Future of Detailing Advanced Paint Correction Clinic. I believe there are 2 spots still available. You guys can go to the Dr. Beasley's website, head on over to the events page there, and you can sign up if you want to come spend the week and a little Cinco de Mayo action here in Boise with our friends from Dr. Beasley's, Griots, Lake Country, and the Rag Company, hosting a 3-day paint correction clinic, as well as on Saturday the 6th, we're going to be hosting a IDA SV class. So you can get your skills validation if you're already a CD done here at the Rag Company by me. So that's super cool. Bob Myers, who's the current president of the IDA, is going to be here in studio with us as well. So I'm very excited to have him here to check out our facility. But yeah, should be a great event. Then the following week, the week of May the 10th through the 12th, basically, we have our friends from Avery Dennison back in the studio, and they are doing a tint class. So same thing. You can sign up if you're looking to maybe want to start learning how to tint, or you want to just maybe add some new services or brush up your skills and check out the newest tint line from Avery Dennison with some of their new ceramics and things like that. You can sign up for the class. Class costs about $700, I think. You can go to the Avery Dennison websites, just type in Avery Tint Certification on Google, and it'll bring it up. We are still working on our events page. That stuff has been put on there, but we're getting it going through its final phases. So I'm hoping to get that up there soon. That way you only have one link you need to go to. So, but if you want to sign up for that class, there are still spots available for that class. We're going to be tinting Ragnarok, which I'm very excited about, and hopefully get Carly's car in too, so I can get that one tinted while it's here. So going to be a good class. I'm excited to learn how to tint because I can do it, but I'm like an amateur and I kind of do it as best as I can. So let's get started on these comments, shall we? All right. This wouldn't be a Q&A Thursday without Dan Pfeiffer being the first, going, good afternoon, and a word up from Minnesota, USA, home of the Breakbuster 1-to-1 Club. Happy Friday Eve, TRC friends. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you tuning in and always being here ready to go. And I know Anthony absolutely can't stand that you do it 1-to-1. So thank you for that. Umberto popping in saying, ready to roll. Thank you. And then Sheldon Klassen saying, let's go, Levi, the one and only master of shine. You got this. Thanks, Sheldon. I appreciate it. And then he comes in with a question. Levi, I heard you talk about some aches and pains from detailing, but what if you could go do it over? What would be the best tips and methods, workouts, etc., to save the fingers, shoulders, and back? So currently that's everything that we carry here at the Rag Company is products that I'm trying to make easier for folks coming into it. So products like the IK Multi-Pro and Foam Pro 2, utilizing those for your everyday heavy chemicals that you have to spray a lot of. So say your wash bay setup, putting your APCs in garden sprayers, or putting your acids or your alkaline cleaners in those type of sprayers. Those are the best ones for that, because of the fact that, like, I used it for so many years with acids and alkalines, so literally spraying 2 spray bottles when I should have just gotten a pressure sprayer, pumped it up, and pushed it with my thumb. That's where most of my damages come from, was from literally doing this with my fingers. So I want to be able to change that. So the IK pressure sprayers are good use of that. All our Detail Factory brushes and all of our current line of brushes are very ergonomic. And the goal for that is that if you're going to be using them so much that you're going to be able to save your hands from cramps and pain from just having really poor quality brushes or cheap, inexpensive brushes, because, we're all in it. We all want to get a cheap product or an inexpensive tool just because we're going to use it and we're going to need to replace it. But spending a little more money and getting something that actually is comfortable in your hand and can actually work and not hurt your hand so bad is a big deal. So like you guys saw yesterday in the live, if you tuned in, the scrapers. I used to use a screwdriver style scraper. Having something that's comfortable in your hand to be able to get at when you're razor scraping or any of that kind of stuff goes a long ways. And it may seem like something simple and easy, but it's not. It's going to do lasting damage especially when you're doing a number of cars over and over and over and over and over. So that's the biggest thing. So those are the ones that you need to watch out for, is just making sure that your body can handle it. And if it's going to be a repetitive motion, make sure that you're finding things that are going to change that motion so you don't always have to keep doing that motion. A couple things I wish I would have done more massages, more stretching, and more resistance style training. So you guys heard I finally picked up a rowing machine. I haven't used it as much as I would have liked to, but that was kind of the goal. Less fatigue on my body, less damaging things, because it's getting harder and harder to do stuff. And especially these past few weeks with this spider bite has like aggravated all my joints in this hand. So it makes it really hard to do. Like it's hard to close the door on my truck. So if that's going to be a new normal, then I need to work on figuring out how to strengthen those or get some compression gloves or something. So just look at things as to how you hold them. If you find hot spots or pain points, change it up. Find something different. Find something that works. So hopefully that answers your question there, Sheldon. And let's see here. All right. Sam Taylor saying, ready to get the show rolling. Thank you, Sam. And the Birch is in. Whoop, whoop, the Birch has landed. And then Joey Belinsky with a ready to witness the history with this solo show. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. So did Anthony do this when he was doing his solo show? Was he doing all this stuff himself? I feel like he wasn't. I feel like somebody was helping him with that. So Jojo Crawdaddy, Levi holding it down solo style. Thank you, man. Mario Santana saying, let's do this. And then Sam Taylor saying, for solo trips like this, Levi should take us out on a bike ride around the beautiful town of Boise. That would have been a great thing. I could have live streamed the whole trip. We talked about that, maybe rolling around in a vehicle and doing that. But then Mario saying he thought he was thought you were in Chicago, Umberto. And then here we go. Joey saying Umberto's everywhere, omniscient. He is. And then Hans, happy King's Day, everybody. Hans, see, I got all the orange up, dude. I know what's up. I got it working. Happy King's Day to you, man. Then Mario saying, I was watching an underwater basket weaving video, and Umberto was first on that video as well. That's pretty great. David Cervantes saying, Levi, what's up, brother? Nothing, David, just holding it down. All the guys are over in Chicago. Looks like it's a great event, having an awesome time, which is cool. So, and then Matt McLean saying, can I use my clay scrubber safely in absolute 256-1 during my normal wash? So yes, you can. I do recommend you add more lubricity, but I at home just do it at 256-1 because 90% of the time when I'm going to clay a surface, I am going to polish it. So I'm not worried about the increased risk of marring. Does that make sense? If you're only going to clay and you're not going to polish, I'd recommend increasing that dilution to 128-1 just for insurance. You know what I mean? So, and then Ed Iverson saying happy solitary Friday Eve. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. Joey Belinsky, the amount of content coming out after the Chicago event is going to be wild. Yeah, there's going to be a lot, I think. There's so many people there. Big event, so should be pretty cool. Alex saying, Master of Solitude, I love it. Thank you, Alex. And then Carly says, this will be a good opportunity to ask those specific detail industry questions. Thanks, wife. Appreciate it. That was very nice of her to say that because you got me. You don't have to worry about Dane going off on a tangent. You don't have to worry about Anthony falling asleep during the Q&A. You've got me right here in all these years of brain power, right? That's right. Thank you, Carly. And then Joey and Alex chiming in, telling Carly, thank you. We appreciate it. And then Sheldon, I don't know anything about Hyperseal. Would you recommend it to top Diamond Body 36, or is Quick Body a better option? So Sheldon, great. That's a great question. Quick Body is a perfect homonym. Is that the right word? Like it's part of that species, right? So because it's a Diamond Protect product, that is the better option. However, Hyperseal is carbon-based, which is exactly same style basis as Diamond Quick Body. So it will play very nicely with Diamond Body. Hope that makes sense. So you can use it because it is a carbon-based coating. So, and not an SiO2 based. They're all Diamond ProTech and Optimum are carbon based, and so it will play very nicely with one another. So Ed says, will TRC be carrying any additional regular OPT products in the near future? Yeah, Ed. So yes. So originally we used to carry the full line of Optimum products, and when Ivan and Dave left, or Dan, I mean, sorry, I don't know why I said Dave. Dan left OPT. Some things started changing. There was there was a big upheaval and shift at Optimum internally. And so we pulled back on some products that we couldn't get or weren't being made or were scheduled for, to be discontinued. And so we kind of focused back on a core line of products that were best sellers. Since then, Anthony and I have put in the request for bringing back some of our favorites back into the TRC fold. So be on the lookout. Those are they have been ordered, and they will be coming shortly, where we will be restocking old favorites like OptiBond tire gel, car wax, things like that. So green O&R is coming back, the wash and wax. So we are adding those products. So be ready for those. So good question. And then Carly saying, yeah, but I love it, Joey, when it goes off the rails. That's true. I love it when it goes off the rails. I love going down the rabbit hole. And Ed saying, loving the Dixon Salem shirt. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. Like I said, it's King's Day today, so I had to wear the orange. Alex saying, can't believe that Augie's turning 9 years old. Ed saying, happy birthday, Eve Augie. My oldest daughter turns 18 tomorrow. Well, congratulations, Ed. That's awesome. These April 28th kids are good kids. So Sheldon saying, do you have any idea when the Opti Clay will be in stock? No, I don't have a timeline for that. We haven't heard as to when the clay is coming back. That has always been one of my favorite clay bars. And when Dr. G stopped carrying it and discontinued it, it was a sad day. And that was one of the reasons we pushed to get our own clay, was because he had stopped producing it. So the Opti Clay is back. You guys got to see it at TRCMA, but it is not in stock, and I don't have a timeline. Sorry, Sheldon. I will say, though, if you're looking for clay, all of the clay we have currently in our store is top-notch, phenomenal clay. Our clay and the KCX clay. So I'm back to 3 here. You're growing so fast here. You guys are doing a great job. Sorry. I see why Dane does this now. All right. Oh, missed Joey's post of a happy Niner to Augie. And then Patrick giving me a fist bump. Hope you're enjoying the day, Patrick. Get that sunscreen on your face. And then Franco singing all by myself. Don't want to be all by myself. Thank you, man. And Franco saying, what's up, homies? And then Joey with the announcement that Swift is on the store. So there you go. You guys can head over to theragcompany.com, pick up some Swift and some Defender. Check it out and enjoy it. David saying, David Boyce, we love you, Levi, and your family. Thank you, David. I appreciate it, man. And then Level Best saying, question for Levi. Have you ever seen a higher pH soap like KCX Active Foam cause problems for PPF? I started seeing some weird chalky streaks on my old PPF. Alkaline cleaners wouldn't do that, would they? No, they would. Yeah, that's the problem with a high alkaline. So high alkaline soaps are not designed to be used often, okay? The goal is always pH balance, and this usually can happen if you use too much or too high. Your temperature may be too hot on the surface, and the PPF is a polyvinyl, so the alkaline does have a tendency to burn it, and that is where your chalkiness comes from, especially on old PPF. it starts to lose its UV protection and starts to become chalky. And then alkaline cleaners would actually start to dissolve that. And that's the problem. Most people go, well, it's not an acid on one end, right? Well, it doesn't matter. An alkaline is equally as bad, a high alkaline. So if we're running around with a 1 or a 2 all day and we've got a 12 and a 13, 14 on the other side, they're identical, just opposite ends of the spectrum, right? And so right in the middle here is a 7. And that's why we always say that 5, 6, 7, 8 is a great medium to be in for when you're normally just taking care of your car and washing it. The only time that you need to go either an acid or an alkaline is when you're deconning the vehicle and you need to do, you do it once, twice, maybe 3 times a year. That's really the only time. If you start doing it every week, stuff starts to dry out. That's primarily the thing that happens the most in people that overuse certain car washes is the car washes will use high acids or they'll use high alkalines, and they're not a pH neutral wash. So the more that you go through, the more tendency you have to lose, you get that chalkiness or you lose colorant in the plastics or things start to dry out because you're not rehydrating. It's stripping always rather than rehydrating. So yeah, it could happen. That's all I'm saying. So, all right, let's see. All right, Umberto saying hi to Carly. And Ed saying, have you tried washing with OptiCoat rinseless on a vehicle that's had Defender applied to it? Any concerns? I have not, Ed. I haven't yet, but I haven't heard anything, other products, other cars that have had any type of SiO2 spray sealant on it. It's because it's got an SiO2 in it. The OptiCoat yellow has the SiO2. So I'm sure it works just fine, has no problems bonding with that. So let's see here. All right. DS, any recommendations for improving a small bleach spot on black carpet? RIT dye or spray paint maybe? I would do the spray dye, the SEM spray dye. I wouldn't try to do the whole thing. I try to do a small section because I'm really against that, but I wouldn't also use the RIT dye because it might mess up that carpet stain or it might not be fully black. Does that make sense? So I would probably just use the spray paint. I'm hoping it's under a seat or something and it's not as noticeable, but realistically, spray paint's the best way to go for it because the RIT dye will actually dye the fiber as well as the foam underlayment under there. And anytime you go to wet it, it may come back up where the spray dye, SEM spray dye will work the best. So pick up a can of that. Glenn Dennis saying, good afternoon, Levi in chat. What's up, Glenn? How are you, man? And Glossy Bear popping in saying, what's up, Levi? Holding down the fort. Thank you, man. And then Patrick's wife, Chantel, popping in saying, hello. Hello, Chantel. Happy King's Day. And then Franco, me. Can I put tire dressing over the CarPro Dark Side tire sealant, or is it not recommended? I'm currently loving PNS ready to use dynamic dressing. So you have a tire sealant on, and you want to put dynamic dressing over the top of it. You can try it. I've never tried the Dark Side tire sealant, so I don't know. Yeah, worth a shot. Franco, go for broke. Have fun. Joey, I sleepily spilled coffee all over my white hoodie. I immediately sprayed Fabric Clean and Protect and watched the stain start to dissipate. Threw it in the wash and no more stain. I'm amazed. Yeah, dude. Fabric Clean and Protect from Optimum is seriously magic in a bottle. It is insane on the removal of stains and stuff. The first time I ever used it, probably 8 years ago, was, and not the OptiCoat version, but the OPT version. I was blown away because I literally put it in a pump sprayer, misted the carpets with it, walked all the way around, misted all the carpets, then came back around, sprayed some on my brush, and then I scrubbed all the carpets and just gave them a good brushing. And then by the time I finished, I came back around and grabbed a towel to just do a quick kind of wipe down. I could not believe how clean those carpets looked because I had been using a hot shampoo extractor for so many years. I mean, we're talking 20 years of detailing almost using a hot shampooer. And so to have just a bottle of something and a brush and a towel work so well and have amazing results, I couldn't believe it. So truly awesome stuff. And then Franco saying, sup. And then Graham Marshall, saving the master of shine and leaving no man behind. Happy Friday Eve, Levi, and all those in the Rag Company land. Hope you're well and feeling better than me. Took 3 years to get me. COVID finally dropped by. Oh no, Graham, I'm so sorry. You finally got hit by COVID. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're enjoying yourself. And I hope your lovely wife's helping you take care of that. I hope she hasn't gotten it. And then Alex saying, Dane has a great massage solution package. He does. I would say many people should probably invest in something like that. Mostly just, you don't realize if you go for years. And for me, it was like that. I was running a big rotary machine. I was working really, really hard and putting out a lot of cars. And I wasn't paying attention to my body, and I wasn't exercising, and I wasn't even just stretching or doing anything. I mean, it's just a matter of learning how to stretch, learning how to take care of yourself. Even if it was like yoga or something, I think I probably would have been able to prolong the damage being done or, and extended my life. But I just didn't do any of that. I just came home, sat on the couch or worked in the yard. I never stretched before work. I never did any of that stuff. And it was only when I started having pains that's when it hit me. And so I'd start working on that. I'd start doing some A-stim, breaking up some of that calcium in your bones and things. Get that, the deposits, not breaking your bones, but working on some of those spots that are just going to be tender, especially on your joints, making sure those are taken care of. So, meet up with a good massage therapist and try and get some of those worked out. I think you'll probably feel a lot better. And also see an orthopedist and just keep up on it. Keep up on your joints. Keep up on making sure that you're doing the things that you need to do. Learn the right, physical training, resistance things. It's a big deal. So, let's see here. Franco saying you could ease the pain with Dane. That's true, man. You could. And then Jay saying, hello. So I use my Stiarnagloss and Coach Chemi products, and I should have ordered these products sooner. Jay, they're dope. There's a reason we carry this stuff. It's not just the hottest, newest, greatest. Everything we carry here at the Rag Company works. Everything we carry has been personally vetted by myself and Anthony, and we don't bring it on if we don't think it can perform to the best of the ability for any technical skill level. So whether you're a home hobbyist or you've been a detailer like me for a really long time, I want it to work for you exactly the way it works for me. So, and then Alex Dewar saying, who wants to join the Chicago FOMO Club? That's right. I heard the boys, they called me this morning and said that they ate a bunch of hot dogs, a lot of glizzies, and then they made sure they took some back to their room. And so Anthony said him and Dane had some late night glizzies in the evening. So that sounds like fun. Larry saying, sup, home slices. How you doing, Larry? And then Joey saying, yeah, the FOMO really kicked in today. Ready to call it quits and get on a plane. And Franco saying, Larry. Umberto also saving the knees since you see so many not using a floor pad. I use volleyball knee pads, and you also see the padded kneecaps, which you can purchase from any store like Home Depot. That's a huge one. I'm very thankful, Umberto, that my knees are good. I remember I had some pain in my knee, and I was like, man, what is this? Turns out it was actually a quadricep pain, and it was the top where the quadricep attaches to the knee. That was the pain that I was having there. But Carly and I went to the doctor, and they x-rayed my knees, and he's like, and I was fully expecting, because this was right after I'd seen my orthopedist on my shoulders, and he had gone like, you got the shoulders of an 80-year-old man. That's just bone on bone, and it's just bad. And then to have this guy go, man, your knees look good. Those things are young and healthy. And I'm like, what? Why do they hurt? What is the problem? And it was just a light tear in the quadricep from doing too many squats, I guess, or going upstairs or something. So, yes, but knees are a big thing because I know so many detailers who have really bad older detailers. And we're finally getting to a spot back. God, what you guys don't remember was like 15 years ago, there were no old detailers. They had neurological issues. They had horrific arthritic issues where they were like hunched over and like cramped up, and all the old guys were just, I mean, it was bad news. I remember seeing a lot of them when I was a kid and realizing like, oh, this, I hope I don't have to be like that when I get older. And I didn't think about it, but there were so many harsh chemicals that were hurting their brains, that were hurting their joints, they were using, they were washing their hands in so many chemicals that were just destroying their bones. And then the carcinogens in all the products back then. So it's wild to me that I'm finally getting to see this next level of old detailers that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s that have been detailing for 30 plus years. It's wild to see that there are guys that are getting to that spot. So my goal is to try and make those next 30 years much easier on everybody coming behind us. So especially behind my age group and my length of time. So that way you don't see that. So there are not folks that their brains are messed up and their bones are messed up. So David Boyce saluting Umberto. Level best. Question for Levi. With the success of Rags to Riches, would a PNS specialized hand soap be a possibility? I usually forget to wear gloves and our hands are our greatest tools. Just saying. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad one. We can ask the boys and see. The biggest thing is please wear gloves, because you need to wear gloves. That's a big, big, big thing. And that is a key component as to why a lot of my joints are as bad as they are, is the years of hydrofluoric acid exposure and not wearing gloves. So please do that. So things to remember, and this is something you can read about, you can look up on Google. So acid burns can burn the skin, but when it's hydrofluoric, like a wheel acid, it actually penetrates the skin and makes its way to the calcium, because it's designed to dissolve calcium. That is its primary function. So it will be absorbed into the skin even on a molecular level, and it will make its way through. It will burn the skin if it touches your skin. And they are, I had a acid burn on this knuckle, or just a drop, a 10-to-1 dilution drop hit my knuckle and burned it for 2 seconds, and I couldn't get rid of it for 8 weeks or 3 months as the skin healed. But it does hit the joint too. And so you've got to remember that. The opposite thing with alkaline won't burn your skin. High alkaline, like a 12 or 13 or 14, it won't burn the skin. But what it does is it does the exact same thing. It permeates the skin and it hits that subdermal layer and it starts burning that. So that's where you can get nerve damage. So please wear gloves. Please. Those products are getting better and better every year, and they're getting safer and safer every year, but gloves are still the number one thing that can prevent you from having these issues. So wear gloves. Sheldon, do you know much about RoadFS versus the Urable software? Has me curious, but I don't hear much about it. So Sheldon, you can go to TRCMA, go to the final day, Friday afternoon session, and watch. We had RoadFS come on, and they talked about their software solution and everything that they have. So you can watch a full 30-minute demo of them talking about their service packages. Urable, you can contact them, and they will walk you through and you can schedule kind of a class, if you will, or they'll send you a link to watch basically that same thing where you can learn the stuff that they do. Both great companies, both good products, both indispensable. And I wish I had either one of those when I had my business. I was running QuickBooks at the time because there was no thing like that for detailers like myself at that time. So Glenn, Levi, if you're starting a shop today, what is the first few things you would start with besides the basics, a vacuum, a polisher, etc.? So the first few things I always, and when I opened my shop 13 years ago, pressure washer. Number one thing. So I went with a Landa Hawk was the name of it. It was a hot water diesel powered pressure washer with a diesel burner. It was my biggest expense. It cost $2,800 or $3,200, something like that back then, in 2011. But came with a 4-year warranty and or 5-year warranty on parts, 4 years scheduled maintenance for free. And that was huge because I could schedule the guys to come out every quarter, 4 times a year, and do a tune-up where they change the fuel filter and check the pumps and make sure everything was right. I could just pre-schedule it through the year. So they'd come out and work on it. And that was huge because that single tool was the one that ran the most in my shop because of the fact that I was running, we do anywhere from 125 to 150 cars a month, and which meant we were washing 125 to 150 cars a month out of that thing. And it was always running. And it was also used to spray off the building. It was also used to wash out the bays. It was that machine was on running pretty much 7-8 hours a day. So being the number one thing, that was the first thing I put my money into. Then I bought some shop vacs because those are the basics. I bought an air compressor. Back then I bought just a Craftsman to save out of my budget. I started everything with about 10 grand to play with. But now I would probably go pressure washer first and then air compressor, because the air compressor is the next thing that runs all day. I mean, you turn that on the moment you walk in the door and it's running. So that, if I bought a shampooer or a steamer, that would probably be my next things because those are the next best things to run. Polishers would be my last or towards the end because they're only running when it's when the car is being in that situation. Air is being used always. The shampooers are running because they're not running, but the heaters are on. The polisher or the steamers are on because you have to have steam ready to go. So you need to turn those products on and leave them on all day. And so I try to go with the higher end stuff and the more expensive stuff first, just to make sure that I know exactly what I'm getting, because those are the things that when those go down, it's going to be a lot harder, or finding if you can buy a duplicate just to have on hand when you have stuff like that go down. So I bought a large compressor and then I bought a smaller compressor just in case, and I kept it in the back room, like a $300, $400 Home Depot special, just to make sure that if the big $2,000 compressor broke, I had this little one that could keep me going if I needed it. So I try to think of it that way and make it worth it as you go down. So, I mean, you could buy a $2,000, $3,000 pressure washer for your business, but you're also going to need a $100 pressure washer. But that's if you were working within a budget, building it out. If you're starting from nothing, there's nothing wrong with going with inexpensive products, $120, pressure washer, a $150 air compressor. There's no problem with going with the inexpensive stuff because you're building the business. So you're going to be small. I was coming into the business already knowing what my expectations were supposed to be and had that budget, thankfully. So, but great question, Glenn. And then Ed, I try to use nitrile latex gloves when detailing, but they get wicked sweaty and gross. Trying to find a safety solution with grip. Yeah, Ed, that's a problem. When I worked at Micron for a year, we had nitrile gloves, and they had these little white fingerless cotton gloves that you could put on, and then you could put a nitrile glove over it, and that would absorb the sweat because you'd have to wear those gloves for most of the day. You probably got to change out and wear a second pair, when you came back from lunch, but we were working in a fab in a clean room, and so you had to have that. So that might be something. Move up to a bigger size, or You could also go with, they make those gloves with the tactile nitrile dip now, and they make them waterproof too. And so you could check out maybe a farm store or home and garden store. They make large different versions of those, and some are safe, some are soft, some are grippy, some are thin, some are thick. We have some that for magnet fishing that stay dry when you're grabbing, so you're not pulling a wet cable in all the time. So check it out. Oh, let's see. All right. Lance saying, Levi, just received my order this week with my signed banner and new diamond interior that I cannot wait to apply. I appreciate all you, Anthony and Dane, done for my detail and knowledge. Thank you, Lance. I appreciate it. That's awesome, man. Ed saying, great. Thanks for the answer about OPT. I'm glad they play well with PNS products. You're welcome, man. And then Jeff C. What's up, Jeff? Saying, hey, Levi, thanks for keeping me company while I clay and polish some new to me wheels in preparation for a diamond wheel coating application. You're welcome, Jeff. Glad you're here, brother. It's awesome. Oh, and Anthony Fisher's calling in. Hold on a second. Anthony, you're live on the Q&A right now. What's going on?
Holy smokes. Hello, all the way from the windy city of Chicago. How's everybody doing?
They're doing great, man. We've got what do we got? We got 68 in the show right now, 68 in the chat. Just answered Jeff C's question. Let's take a question here. Vasilis K saying, if you repair paint chips on a coated vehicle, would you just reapply the coating on those particular spots? Any other method? But this is a perfect timing to answer this question, Anthony. As a Dr. Color Chip expert, if you repair paint chips on a coated vehicle, would you just reapply the coating on those particular spots or any other method?
So I would if the time was there. If the coating or if the Dr. Color Chip or if the paint had enough time to set up and cure within that time that I had it there, then absolutely I would touch up that area. But for the most part, if I have not removed enough of that coating and I've just focused on those small chip spots, then no, I'll put some touch-up paint on it and call it good.
Nice. Well, there you go. Hopefully that answers Vasilis' question.
But anyway, I just wanted to chime in and let everybody know that we're having just a fantastic time here over at Chicago Auto Pros. This has been an amazing event so far, very well sorted out, and all the friends and all the TRC family is kind of all under one roof here, minus Levi, who is greatly missed, obviously. And I just wanted to say that we're going live every hour or so on Instagram or on a Facebook group. And so if you're interested to see kind of what's going on behind the scenes, feel free to jump over and check it out.
There you go. That's a good point, guys. And I'm glad you're having fun. I told them that you guys were eating some glizzies in the late evenings, that you had stole a bunch of them.
Late at night. I literally, the event was closing and they had all this extra food. And I said, what are you guys going to do with that? And they're like, well, nobody's taking it, so we might just throw it away. And I said, this is a waste, and this is something I do not practice in my culture.
Yeah.
So I started grabbing all the glizzies and all these like meat sandwiches.
Yeah, you gave them you knew you were going to give them a good home. You were like it's like it was a pet rescue, only it was a glizzy rescue situation.
It was. And so what I did is I actually grabbed a Car Supplies bag, like one of their totes, and I started throwing everything in, and a couple of people pointed out how that wasn't very classy to do, right? It doesn't look very classy, and I said, I don't know if you guys know me, but I'm not the classiest of people, and I just said, screw it, I don't want to waste food, so I stole a bunch of glizzies from Car Supplies.
I'm proud of you guys for doing that and taking care and giving those glizzies a good home. That's the number one thing we care about here at Rag Company is proper glizzy disposal.
Yep, exactly. So anyways, Levi, I got to run. I just saw Davey P as well as Eric Joseph fly by me in a K24 swapped wide body Miata, and I got to go say hi.
Oh, you better go find him. Better go say hello.
All right, I'll talk to you.
All right, buddy.
I miss you. I miss everybody on the Q&A.
We miss you too. We'll see you next week.
See you later.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. What a great little thing for Anthony to pop in for that. That was awesome. All right. So Glenn saying, my daughter's 11th birthday today. Happy birthday. That is awesome. And then Ed saying that TRC clay bars are fantastic. That's good. And then Simon Birch saying, gotta ask, Chicago deep dish or thin crust. So my favorite pizza, you guys well know, is a company here in Boise called Chicago Connection, and they make a deep dish pizza. Anthony doesn't like it 'cause it's mostly cheese and crust, but that's what I'm all about. Love Chicago Connection. Thin crust, just like I feel like I'm eating a saltine cracker, man. That's just me, and I don't like my pizza on a saltine cracker. David Cervantes, Levi, have you had many chances to play with Swift or Defender? So far, I'm in love with Swift. So I used Swift this weekend. That I really got a chance to play with it. I used it a little bit on the Elantra, and a little bit in Carly's car, but I really got to actually put it through its paces this weekend. Good stuff. Not bad. Really like it. I love the smell of it. I think it's perfect for light cleaning and wiping down. Light cleaning. And then Defender, I got to use it for the first time at TRCMA, on the live there with Bob and Keith and Sydney, and it was flawless. I was really impressed with it. So, super cool. Jeff saying, if someone used Hyperseal as a periodic topper drying aid on Diamond Body 36, would you recommend using something like Diamond Body Prep on an annual maintenance basis before applying Quick Body? Yes. So, well, hold on. That's two things. Hyperseal is a periodic topper drying aid on Diamond Body 36. Yes. Then would you recommend using something like Diamond Body Prep on an annual basis before applying Quick Body? Yes, I do agree on that. So feel free to just use Hyperseal while you're cleaning. When you want to do your full annual kind of reboot, or half year reboot, then yes, make sure you do use Diamond Body Prep, because Quick Body bonds much better to Diamond Body. So Prep with that there. Larry Singleton, speaking of rock chip paint touch-ups, do they look better, smaller if you wet sand over them than compound polish spot? Daughter has a new one. So Larry, depends on the paint touch-up you're doing. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on the chip. What I like is the Dr. Color chip method, where it's almost a squeegee, and you put the paint in and then you squeegee over it and level it, and then you let it dry and then come back over with the chemical that they give you, the C-Lac, that you then wipe on the surface, and it removes the paint on the paint, but it doesn't remove the paint from the chip, and then it's almost seamless. It's very nice, and you get a true color match on that. So I would do it that way. Level Best saying, oh, dang, okay, thanks, Levi. Time to rip off that PPF anyway. Good luck, man. It's not fun. John Hill, how long do I wait to put a ceramic coating on top of solution finish? John, I'd probably wait about 24 hours, especially if it's warm out. Prep the surface, put solution finish on. You might have to do multiple coats depending on the plastics. Let that stuff penetrate. Then after about an hour or two, come back with a dry towel, wipe all the excess off. I would then let it sit for another 24 hours and see how it looks. If you need to do a secondary application of solution finish, do it. If not, you can ceramic coat over solution finish. I don't recommend it. And the reason is solution finish on its own will last up to 2 years on the life of that panel. So you can then just reapply it in 2 years. If you put a 3, 4, 5-year coating on it, you end up locking in that. However, what happens is that plastic can still try to oxidize, and the coating is now on top. So when you go to put solution finish on after 2 years or 3 years, as that coating, as the underneath solution finish is kind of oxidized, you're not fully, it's not fully sealed. But what it does is it now makes it harder for solution finish to penetrate the coating. Does that make sense? So I don't recommend putting a coating. You can, I just don't recommend it because of the fact that you make it more difficult to apply solution finish in the future. I recommend just put solution finish on, leave it alone. You can buy over the top, which is a sealant that goes over the solution finish, but is designed to die off and dry out and all that stuff so that you can then reapply solution finish in about 2 years. So just think about that. G. Davis, who was supposed to be my guest host, but couldn't do it because, greetings from the Shalom Orthopedic and Prostate Milking Center. Dane faxed me earlier to advise me he can't wait to get his hands on a Chicago deep dish. And then after that, he also wants to try the pizza. It's going to be weird. That's just how it's going to be for them over there, I think. Gee, I hope you're feeling good, man. Larry saying, hola, Umberto, or Umberto mi amigo. Simon Bach, do you know if TRC Europe will have Defender and Triple S in the near future? I'm going to say yes. Specifically for the fact that Rap Institute Europe is based out of Germany, and I know they're going to be wanting to get some too. So, but TRC Europe is working on getting Defender and Swift and all the new stuff there as well. Patrick was just in the chat. You can make sure you reach out and message him or message info@theragcompany.shop to reach Rag Company Europe. Larry, Umberto, I got my Mercedes paint from a company that mixes the exact same color. I used another company before that did not. It's spot on now. That's awesome, Larry. Enjoy that. I will say, though, that the Dr. Color chips are very accurate in their color mixing. And then Ricardo B saying, what's up, Levi? How are you, man? Good to see you. And I think we are on page 2. All right. Tony saying, no question. Just want to say that I love you, Levi. Well, thanks, Tony. Hope you're doing well, brother. And then Ed, when you detail at the MOSHQ, do you use earbuds for music podcast listening? And if so, what are your favorite earbuds? So I use earbuds when I'm working or cleaning. The problem that I've found is many earbuds that I have a tendency to catch the air from my air gun and like amplify it back up into my ear. So I had a bunch of different earbuds. My current earbuds are a literal no-name Amazon brand called Gleedeer, Gledeer. I mean, they are as no name as you could possibly see with the camera. There we go. Like, I mean, just, they make no sense, the name. But they are just a standard style earbud. They've got noise. They've got a level of noise canceling. But I like them because they don't pick up on the mic, the air. So that's been really nice because of that. And they fit my ears and they're good. And honestly, they're not that expensive. We got them. Carly got a Amazon box, like that she got at work. Like a bunch of teachers bought in on this. People who bought like a pallet of Amazon stuff and like a mystery box. And she opened it up and there were 2 packs in there. One had been open, one wasn't. And the one that had been opened, they weren't working at all. They really just didn't. They were bunk. These were, and so I started using them and I kind of really like them and they're inexpensive and they're great. So, I don't have a really expensive one. When I'm compounding or polishing, then I use noise canceling headphones and I have the Soundcore Q30s. You can get those on Amazon. They're like $60 and they have crazy good noise canceling. Really great reviews. They're super soft. They fit. They're nice. They're a really good set of headphones, and I've used them on my trips when I fly, and I love them. So, and they also come with an app that has a white noise machine that you can make your own white noise. So, which is pretty cool too. And that was a good reason for that one. I like that. So, all right. Mahul saying, hello, Levi. Happy birthday, Doggy. Thank you, Mahul. Appreciate it, brother. And then Umberto saying, that's great because not many are as good as Dr. Color Chip. If a new vehicle, Dr. Color Chip would not have it yet, and you have to rely on local shops and a good paint mixer. And Alex saying, Levi, I must say you're looking mighty dapper today. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And then Glenn saying, hey, buddy, how are you? Tell the boys I say hi. Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate it, brother. Glenn from Swag Rides there. Then Granoff saying, yeah. Yeah? What's up, dude? How are you, man? Joey Belinsky saying, feel better, Graham. I'm still in the no COVID club. Helps to be 6'7". Gravity pulls all the germs downward. That's right, Joey. I think that's exactly why. It's also that Jack Reacher physique you have. Umberto saying also have a chiropractor to place things properly too. If that's something you go for, yeah. Thankfully, I've been fortunate enough I don't have to use a chiropractor enough or that much. I have had friends that needed to go a lot. Ethan Bland, is Optimum MDR good for unclogging coatings? Yes, it is a mineral deposit remover. It's good for that. Then Graham says, Debbie caught COVID first. Work told me to stay at home. What's the worst that could happen? 3 days later, we had a winner. I'm sorry, Graham. Oh, my gosh. Sorry. But, hey, at least you both got it at the same time. Good to go. And then, Glenn, that's one of the biggest reasons I got out of detailing for a while was the harsh chemicals we were using 20 plus years ago. Yeah, dude, it was bad. We used to make fun of kids because they lose their voice because they were hanging around an hydrofluoric acid arch all day, breathing it in. And we would laugh and make fun of them like, ha, dude, you had to prep. Man, you got screwed. Didn't realize it's actually damaging their lungs, and that's probably why my voice sounds this way. Graham saying, Joey, thanks. Wouldn't wish it on anyone, and that's after 4 inoculations. I'm so sorry, Graham. That sucks, man. Weaver, I just tried TriClean for the first time, and wow, I purchased a 5-liter. It is now my go-to for interior cleanings. TriClean is a phenomenal product. So, product for interior cleaning. G. Davis, Anthony posted that he and Dane's glizzy party attracted some of the single moms who were just released from house arrest. Oh my gosh. Daytona Wallace, any advice to someone dragging their feet on starting a detail business, asking for a friend? Daytona, just do it. So technically I have a detail business in my garage because people know, and I've got a lot of folks asking for dates. Could I go set up an LLC and actually run it like a business? Yes, I could. Could I start booking more and more cars weekly or daily? Yes, I could. I could start building it out and saying, hey, I can do them after work, or drop it off and I'll work on it when I get off of work. I could start doing that and could start building it enough to where, you could start making some money at it. I know a lot of people who, they start doing these side gigs and they start making more money than they are at their regular job. And at that point, you might as well switch or move forward towards it to do that. I would recommend using this to build your setup, build your shop, build your space in your garage, because you can run it out of your house for a while, hopefully in your area, and be able to do this, or rent a small shop space to be able to go full time. But if you're dragging your feet, why are you dragging your feet? What are the issues? So I need to know that stuff before I can answer. But I will say, there's potential in what I've built currently to keep going and go bigger if I wanted to. My body just doesn't allow me to do that. So I'm trying to look at different things. That's why, I'm so excited about tint. I've tried my hand at vinyl wrapping. I can do that, and I did it in the past. My problem comes in these hands. They don't work the way that I used to be able to use them. And so I'm trying to find things that are going to be less stressful, less strenuous, things that I don't need to worry about so much. I'd rather work less and charge more. And so I'm looking at things that would do that for me. Matt Ward, who I worked with for years, he's now does PPF installations. That's his main thing. And he goes, it uses an entirely different muscle set. And he goes, and I have a lot more fun doing it, and I enjoy it, and I can get a lot more money for a car, and I'm quick, and I can do it that way. So there's a lot of different things that you can learn and do. So just keep that in mind. Brent Eakin saying, Master Leviticus, I applied diamond glass to my 2015 GMC Sierra and got 0 results. No beating, nothing. Am I right thinking I need a clay and do a light polish on the glass before trying again? Yes. And I would do a second coat just because. That's me. I know that the company says to do one, but I recommend a second coat. Master of Shine, seal of approval. Eric saying, I'll be that friend for you, Daytona Wallace. And Ed saying, what were the most mentioned fears of doing a rinseless wash during the Porsche Club event last weekend? The main ones. Do I do it in what about a muddy car? What about scratching? Does it really clean the surface? And is it that easy? Can I use this on everything? And once we kind of explain the process to folks, they really got it and really enjoyed it. Seeing is believing for a lot of them. A lot of them don't realize that it does it until you wash it and show them. And for us, doing one wheel really surprised them. Just cleaning one wheel that way, they were like, holy crap, that worked out really well. So I checked that out. And then Keith saying, good afternoon, Levi. Love the bead maker flannel. Thank you, Keith. Keith also has this one. So again, Keith wearing it because it's King's Day in Netherlands, and everybody wears orange on that. So it's a national holiday. So Peter Judge saying, seeing as it provides protection, do you know if the OptiCoat version of O&R creates buildup in drying towels the same way something like Beadmaker would? I have no idea, Peter. I don't know if it's enough to cause that. We can definitely try it and see. Ed Iverson saying, unlike Anthony, I have to use extra large gloves. I'll look into those other options. Yeah, it's kind of hard to go up to like a double X, right? So on those, it's us large-handed men. That's what happens. All right, David Boyce says, I throw talc powder or baby powder into my nitrile gloves before I put them on. It reduces the perspiration inside the gloves. That's an idea. That's not a bad one, David. You can even put like a little Gold Bond or something on there, maybe some cornstarch. Alex saying, Anthony, Dane, and Jimmy joined the Illinois Glizzy Fest Gobblers Club. It's true. And Ed saying, thanks, David. I'll try that too. Jeff C says, no glizzies left behind. And Grant says, this is the best show so far. Thank you, Grant. I appreciate it, man. And let's see here. 2. All right. All right. Joey. Oh, let me go. Here we go. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to go. All right, so we're going to do a little break here, but before we do that, we should say, Joey Belinsky says we should send Dane and Anthony away more often. I agree. We're doing pretty good without them, right? All right, guys, we're going to have a little break. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and we'll be right back.
Holy cow!
Wow!
Dane, that was amazing!
Dane, I didn't know you could do any of that stuff.
Neither did I.
Wow!
Well, now that you're an actual bartender,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe whip us up some extra
Oh,
cocktails.
yeah!
I mean,
Dane, do it!
I mean, it's my first day, but let me see what I can whip up.
Nice.
I can't believe it. What?
Jeez, Dane!
What?
Oh my God!
Wow, Dane.
Dane!
For being your first day, it's pretty amazing.
Looking for feedback. Let me know what you think.
Oh my God! This stuff smells amazing!
Good, all right.
Well, Levi, Dane, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Nice.
Bottoms up.
Cheers.
Thanks, Dane.
Oh my God! God, why are you spitting my drink up? I worked hard on that.
What is in it? Is that polymers?
My mouth is encapsulating.
Why would you even know what polymers taste like?
Tastes like chemicals. Did you feed us chemicals?
What did you put in this?
I made you a nice drink. These are supposed to be nice. Oh, guys, that's my car.
What?
You hit my car. God, guys, if you didn't want the drinks, you could have just given them back to me or something.
Dane.
Are you seeing that shine over there? On the car.
Oh my God. Dane, what did you put in that stuff?
What, in your drinks?
Yeah.
Some water and some Absolute.
Absolute vodka?
No? PNS Double Black Absolute Rinseless Wash.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to poison us?
Dane, did you just make us drink rinseless wash?
No, definitely didn't do that.
Absolute rinseless wash is not for oral or suppository consumption.
Looks pretty good.
It does, however, leave a hell of a clean and smooth surface on your vehicle.
Wow.
PNS Absolute Rinseless Wash. Mix responsibly.
Is that something?
I mean, it's pretty good. I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm kind of liking this.
Yeah. So just don't drink it.
No.
Yeah, let's make sure we don't drink it for the future.
But do put it on cars.
Yeah, it's good. It's for
Put
cars.
it on a car. Okay.
Not inside yet. All right, guys, we need to come up with the best commercial for our friends at Home to Sweets. So, what ideas do you got?
Ooh, I have one. Okay,
All right.
picture this. Drone shot. 3/4 angle.
Yeah.
Home to Suites sign.
Yes.
And the large parking garage that puts you out right next to your room.
We cannot do that. For the last time, Glenn, you're an unlicensed operator, and we can't fly in Class C airspace.
Skill.
Yeah, that is a problem. Okay, pivot.
The general store.
Yeah.
Right, that's something. They have chips, ice cream, souvenirs, Ooh. Whatever you need.
Excuse me, sir. You still have to pay for those. Sir, hey, get back here.
How would you say the breakfast is there?
Delicious. Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah.
I like it. But I also want to highlight the rooms.
Oh, of course.
One of the most important parts. The beds are huge. You have an area for your laptop so you can type some things up. But also, one of my favorite parts are hands down the bathrooms.
Gum, sir.
Don't mind if I do.
Cologne.
Yes, please.
So, Anthony, I don't know how to tell you this, but there are no bathroom attendants at the Home to Suites.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, all right. I can agree on that, right? But the cologne can stay.
Maybe if you packed it in your bag.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But that's besides the point, right? The Home to Suites is right next to a Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's offers a wide variety of fine meats, cheeses, and wine for a romantic night out.
I like that.
Right? Yeah. Make use of that kitchenette.
Of course, that's genius.
Ooh, what about the pool?
Yeah, the pool.
And of course, after a long, hard day, it's always nice to be able to relax in the pool. I don't really know how to swim, but this is just as relaxing.
Sir, the pool is only 4 feet deep.
Yeah, me and bodies of water don't really get along too well. Also, they have a gym. You know, we all know how hard it is to stay in shape, and you know, when you're on the road, you're eating those dinners.
But look, I think that we can all agree the Home to Suites is a very nice place.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's also very welcoming. It's got a great staff. They're always available to help you.
Good vibes, good
And
vibes.
it's right in the heart of downtown.
It's also good vibes.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys knew this, they were rated #1 hotel in Boise by TripAdvisor.
Oh, that's very prestigious.
Pretty amazing,
That's
right?
That's great. Yeah.
All right, we are back into the second half of Q&A Thursday, where it's just me, by myself, the master of shine, Levi Gates, here to answer all your detailing questions. And like we said, it's King's Day today in the Netherlands, so of course, I had to orange up the studio for our friends at Rag Company Europe. So, Hope you guys are having a great time. I hope you're enjoying this Thursday. The boys are gone. The boys are in Chicago at the Chicago Auto Pros, what's it called? Influencer event? That's what it is. So they're over there doing that. And of course, I'm holding down the fort here and putting on what I think is quite possibly one of the greatest shows ever produced or broadcast here at the Rag Company. Pretty proud of that. So anyways, it's not me. It's Nick and Glenn and them back there behind the camera that are making me look good and doing this for you guys. So Sheldon Klassen saying proper glizzy disposal. We got to have a Rag Company t-shirt. Well, remember me and the boys all have our number one glizzy gobbler t-shirts that we wore. We may need to bust those out again for everyone. That way they can see. So, all right, let's see here. Sheldon then says, deep dish, so good. And then Ed Iverson with a new nickname for us, the Glizzy Gladiators. I think that is a great nickname. You know, the other day I sent a group chat or sent pictures to our group chat of the hot dogs I was barbecuing at my home. Took some ballpark beef franks. I diamond cut them, right? So I give them a little score across the side, then I bring the knife back around, score it across. They got this nice diamondback pattern. Then take a little kosher salt, sprinkle a little kosher salt on them, a little fresh ground pepper, put those on the man grate as it is. It's just a giant piece of cast iron griddle or grill, and so I set those on top of that after I've heated that sucker up to about 500-600 degrees, and then I cook my hot dogs that way. Put them on the barbecuer, flip them once, pull them off. I throw a little cheese on usually beforehand so the cheese melts into those little those diamonds. And so I make 4 cheeses and 4 plains. And then we just put them in the bun, a little ketchup and mustard. It's good to go. So, all right. JB, what spray sealants would you recommend to use after polishing with KCX One Cut and Finish? One Cut and Finish has, if I remember correctly, it already has a sealant in it. Or a wax. So you don't need to put anything in it if you don't want to. If you do, you can use Bead Maker. You can use any of the KCX spray sealants, SSO2, any of the waxes. You can do whatever you want after that. So it's fine for any of those. Joey says, I don't discriminate against pizza. No pizzaism coming from this guy. Well, that's good, Joey. You're a man of the people, and I appreciate that. David Boyce says, deep dish, lived in Chicago for 50 years. I love it. Well, there you go. That's a good way to do it. Larry, I heard someone say deep dish is basically just lasagna with a crust. I say you deep dish fans as a rebuttal. Well, fun fact, Chicago Connection here in Boise, Idaho makes a lasagna pie. It's straight up a lasagna pizza. So you may be onto something there, Larry. And then Kirby saying, afternoon, Levi, MOS. Just back to view. Nice shirt today. Thank you, Kirby. Appreciate you tuning in. And then Lars from Germany saying, hey, Levi, nice show you're doing in a nice flannel. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Carly and I were just joking about how much chocolate we still have at our house from you and your wife, and I really appreciate it, man. Joey saying, I watched all day Anthony recklessly touch up paint on a Miata. It's now my go-to training video anytime I need a refresher. Well, there you go. That's a good reason to do it, right? Then David saying, super bummed I won't get to see you in Chicago on Saturday. However, hope to make it to Boise in the next year. David, sorry we don't get to meet, but hopefully we will get to meet when you come to Boise. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's a great sentiment. I hope you enjoy seeing everybody and meeting everybody over there. Simon saying, I keep forgetting to ask Patrick about the new products. I know, man. Just ask him. And then G. Davis. Thank God, today, after 6 weeks, I'm finally able to drive myself. You'll never know how much your family really hates you until you're totally dependent on them to get around. Gee, I am so thankful that your elbow's working finally and you get to do all the things that you love with that elbow. And then Demo saying, glad to see the MOS doesn't need Dane or Anthony. They tend to just get in the way. Looking good, by the way. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, D. And then Rocky Iverson saying, would you suggest reading up on inorganic chemistry to further your detailing knowledge? So There's a Wikipedia that I follow, not a Wikipedia, but it's a detailer's wiki. It's literally, it's a long one. John Miller created it, and he was a chemist who liked detailing, and he built it a long time ago, but it's still got a ton of useful information. It's called the Old Gray Whistle Test Detailing Wiki. So, Google that. The Old Gray Whistle Test Detailing Wiki. If you Google that, it'll take you to an old blog spot or blog posting thing, and there are a number of articles all the way across all about that stuff that gives you a baseline knowledge on a lot of those things. I would check that out, Rocky. It's one of the things that I use to kind of learn about pH and learn about that kind of thing on how chemicals really worked. And I started reading that blog spot or that blog post a decade ago. So I'd definitely check it out. Also, I'm officially a CD IDA member. Congratulations, Rocky. That's amazing. A newest certified detailer with the IDA. Congrats. And then Ed saying, hey, Rocky Iverson, my long lost cousin. Because if you guys see, his is Rocky Iverson, or lives on. And so we call him Rocky Iverson. So anyway, it says, looking forward to my SV training at the end of May. Congrats, man. Appreciate that. I'm glad you're taking part and joining up. Then Joey saying, G Davis, that freedom is such a good feeling. Enjoying my final few weeks off of it until I get to annoy everyone and disrupt their schedules. That's right, Joey. I hope you enjoy that. And then Glenn Davis saying, happy birthday to Augie. They grow so fast, Levi. I know, dude. I went to breakfast this morning with a buddy of mine, and we were talking about our kids and how, like, their Hadley's is 12, and how I was saying, like, we have less than 10 years. We're on the opposite side now, right? We got less than 10 years before they graduate, and then they're their own people pretty much. And we were talking about it because our kids are in the same age group. He's got 3, I've got 2, but his oldest is 12 and his youngest is like 8 or 9. And so they're in the exact same. And so it was funny for us who've been friends since we were like 19 to reminisce and go, holy cow, like it's gonna go fast. The last 10 years blinked. I can't imagine what the next 6 are gonna be like. G says, Joey, I might not go home this evening. It's that good. It's just out cruising, looking for friends, and just enjoying a wonderful night out with the window down. Maybe you're listening to a selection of Meatloaf's greatest hits. G, that's what I'd be doing. Maybe cracking open that T-top on that little Toyota pickup. Joey Belinsky, I'd love to make more on the side hustle than the main hustle. That's the dream. There you go, Joey. I think that's the dream for most of us. And then he says, gee, swing on by Sacramento, pick me up. We can head to Chicago. Should give you a solid amount of freedom. Yeah, he might need some ibuprofen. Just saying, it's a long drive. But you guys could do that. That'd be something I'd like to watch. Road trip. Joey Belinsky and the great G Davis making their way not only cross country, but then back across country again. Then Ed saying, I detail out of my home garage and have found that 3 vehicles per week is a good pace for this 55-year-old hotshot, and I do personal referral only. Yeah, Ed, that's where I'm at too. I do 1 a week. This last weekend I did 2 cars, but I try to do 1 a week, and it is personal referral. I really don't like just people that I don't know or don't know the condition of their vehicle. So it makes it much easier. And then David saying, Levi, without question, you could teach detailing classes and seminars just like Ivan. Your knowledge is valuable as hell. Thank you, David. It means a lot, man. I really appreciate it. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Graham says, I've seen it said that Americans live to work, whereas us Europeans work to live. Sound about right? Yeah, you guys are a lot luckier than us because you get to actually take time off and stuff. And most shops and most businesses, they don't really do that. I'm fortunate here at the Rag Company. They give us that we as we've been in the company, we get a lot of paid time off, which is nice. But there are still companies that they frown upon you using your vacation time. Like they give you the time off, but then they get really, you get antsy and you don't want to take it off because you're worried about your job. And there's just, it's different. It's weird, but it's nice having a place where they're like, oh yeah, no, take the time, G. Davis saying the Porsche Club was very surprised when Dane introduced them to the erotic Autobahn setting on the massage chair. That does seem like something that would happen. Joey says, I love pulling my dirty car into my garage and emerging clean 30 minutes later because of a rinseless. It's like pulling your busted car into a garage in GTA to escape the cops. That's a good point. That is a good way to do it there, Joey. Josh McKay saying, hey, Levi, thanks for holding down the fort. Do you have any coating recommendations for outdoor patio plastics? The Miami, Florida is a killer. So this is actually a really good question. So I would probably look at if you got some new product, new plastic items, right? Like new chairs that you bought. I would recommend coating them just to maybe help with UV protection on a lot of those. You could do something as simple as gloss coat. You could do something as simple as Exo, even something like Diamond Body. Just plain Diamond Body. The key is just making sure that if it's a glossy plastic, that you wipe it and get it off. If it's more of a matte or drier plastic effect, you may not need to wipe it off. It just depends on how it looks. Make sure it's you prep it the same way. Use the paint prep that you need to. But that's not a bad idea. I coated my air conditioner when I bought one. Both of them, actually. When I bought 2 new air conditioners, one at the old house and one at the new house, I coated both of them for that specific reason, because they're just powder coat and you're spending $5,000-$6,000 on an air conditioning unit. Why not coat it? It's on the side of your house. Keep it looking nice, looking fresh. So I'm all for coating other things other than cars. I like coating my bikes. I coated my kids' bikes. I've coated my bike. I coat a lot of stuff. So yeah, no, I 100%. Glenn saying, I did a maintenance detail on a black Escalade that was washed with Absolute. Came out great. If you can detail picking up rinseless washing, it's pretty straightforward. That's right. Yeah. And that's why I've always said that I feel it's a skill set, just like learning how to do coatings, just like learning how to do, compounding, polishing, learning paint correction, learning, cleaning leather properly, like carpets properly. These are all skills that you have to learn, and rinseless washing is just part of that. You need to be able to know that stuff just to have it. And, I look back at old comments of people who just absolutely hate us when we talk about rinseless washing, and they're detailers, and they think that the only way they can wash a car is with soap and water. And it's amazing when you go, no, you can, and you can still use a pressure washer to do it. So, yeah. Kirby, I just tried something to help with the sweating, dripping from within the nitrile gloves. Bought the sports wrist sweats and wore them under the end of the glove. Oh, smart idea, Kirby. Ed, you're going to have to try that out. He says your local sports shop will stock them in the tennis section, but Amazon is always far more friendly on the wallet. Yeah, that's a smart idea. Pick up some of those sweat. Matt used to do that when we were working because he would sweat so much. He started wearing a sweatband, like literally got one of those sweatbands and would wear it at work because it would drip. His forehead would drip on cars when he would be cleaning leather or something, scrubbing leather, and he'd be dripping sweat after he'd be wiping. And so he got a full set of sweatbands for his wrists, for his hands, for his gloves, and then one for his head. So yeah, totally forgot. That's a great idea, Kirby. Ed saying, thanks, appreciate that tip. And then saying that Absolute commercial makes me laugh every time. You guys are very talented. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, Ed. He said, I was frustrated with trying to figure out why I kept finding water drips doing interiors or applying a coating. Yeah, right? That's seriously what happens. I had a friend who's a painter, and that white and purple Thunderbird I did for the PPG booth, he was painting that. And when I was fixing when I was wet sanding that for him and cutting it, I had him over and I was like, what's this from? And he's like, oh, that was a bead of sweat after I sprayed, hit and landed on the wet paint and dripped down and caused a little run in there. And I said, ooh. So yeah, it can happen. So smart idea. Adam Thurman, What is up, Adam? You have been MIA, buddy, for a long time. I hope you're doing well, brother. And then Tony says, Levi, say it back. Say what back, Tony? I said I love you. Kirby Thompson says, I just noticed the Home to Suites short has the cars going backwards. Yeah, because we only could raise the drone up, and then we brought it back down. So we weren't allowed to fly in Class C airspace, whatever Nick says. It's exactly, I kept draining my gloves of sweat, and my ability to grip anything was non-existent. There you go. Hopefully it'll work, man. And then Ed saying, Adam, hello, I owe you a text reply, my friend. And then G. Davis says, shout out to Alex and everyone at Mountain Doer Industries for landing the naming rights to the new hockey arena in Calgary, the Zamboni Pony. Very nice. Yes, good for them. And then Leprechaun Levi popping in saying, a-tee-ta-ta-ta-to, Levi, who be your favorite meme account? Well, of course, Mommy Meme Jeans. And that's a given. You got to go check it out. And then Adam Thurman saying, once all the ads are done, I need to inquire about Matt Paint Prep. Hashtag TRC Assemble. And then also that was great. Lol. And then Alex saying the Saddle Dome Demo Day should be a provincial holiday as a day of mourning. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. And then David Cervantes saying, it's weird hearing Glizzy now. I have a coworker whose primary nickname is Glizzy. That's hilarious. And then Adam saying, I've not ever touched matte paint in my time. How can I prep for a coating? Noob. Lol. Same way, dude. The difference is you're just not going to polish it. So you can decon it. You can wash it with O&R. You can wash it with soap and water. You can hit it with alcohol, or you can use the paint prep. I recommend obviously the paint prep for the coating that you're installing. But dude, the only thing you can't do is buff it. That's it. Everything else you can do. So it's not that scary. Joey says, nothing like a diamond cut glizzy. That's how you know I'm fancy. That's how you know, right? And then Alex saying the Diamond Glizzy Club. That's right, man. That's how it works, right? Got to have that diamond cut. Not only does it hold the sauce, holds the cheese too. And then Ed saying, my favorites are the Johnsonville Better Cheddars with a sprinkle of Lee and Perrins of Worcestershire sauce. Never tried that. Tim Jennings saying, Levi, just wanted to say I appreciate all the good info that y'all offer. Can't ever thank you enough. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. Thank you for leaving that comment. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. How would you rank, from Jakeem, how would you rank Absolute, N914, and O&R? Ooh, Jakeem, that's a hard one. So I will say this. While N914 is good, it does not have the same capabilities as Absolute and O&R. So I would put Absolute and O&R almost tied, and then I would put N9104 below. Does that make sense? G. Davis. Oh, this is a good one. I'm guessing Dane's CPAP machine now smells of hot dogs, grape soda, Bavarian adultery. Oh my gosh. And then G. Davis says, my physical therapist just told me that I now have the elbow of a 17-year-old Swedish javelin thrower. Ooh, that Tommy John's, baby. That's what you get. And G. Davis says, so it's always moving back and forth now? Yes, that's correct, Hans. And then Graham saying, G. Davis, and he wants it back. And then Ed saying, with kids who are 25, 22, 18, and 16, the days were long, but the years were far too short. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's going to go quick. And then G. Davis with an RIP Meatloaf. I know, my friend. It's always a sad day when we lost him. Those of you that don't know, I'm a big Meatloaf fan. I'm like a huge Meatloaf appreciator. That was my first concert I ever went to. D-Man Force 4 update on the new PNS and all the other new stuff making their way to TRC. They're on the website. There's some products already listed now. So I know Defender's on the site. You might, right there, Swift is on the site. You might check. Go on there and take a look. I haven't looked yet, so I can't tell you that. But as far as I know, it's in stock. It's here. Joey laughing with Hans. And then Rocky Iverson saying, the Old Gray Whistle Test Detailer Wiki. Yes. Or Detailing Wiki. Look that up. I'm serious. And then you have to go backwards. You can't go forwards. You got to go backwards into his actual detailing articles because he started using it for his other articles and stuff. And it doesn't always work. If you're in the Facebook group, the Rag Company Facebook group, he is a member, John Miller. He is a member. You guys can reach out to him that way, message him, JONMILLER. So he's got a motorcycle helmet or something on in his thing, but really good guy, smart guy. G. Davis waving, Hans replying to Rocky. Yep, that's correct. The guy's really good with that stuff. All right, we're on the first page. Page 1. All right. Got the boys waving at each other. Then G. Davis saying, Hans, close and bring in the risque jokes. Look out. And then Umberto letting everybody know that he's saying hello to Hans and Lars. And then he says, I've coated several air conditioning, especially for customers who live near the beach. Yeah, it's a smart way to do it, and it keeps them looking better and keeps them clean and nice. Last year I had a guy come out and look at my air conditioner because it was misbehaving. And he was like, this thing's brand new. When did you have it installed? And I said, 5 years ago. And he goes, really? This thing looks like it's brand new. And it was because it's coated. It's not deteriorating as fast as the other ones that they've installed. So Alex saying, I used Express and Color Lock mild cleaner and sealant on a new to the family couch. Looks brand new. Don't hesitate to bring certain detail products indoors. Yeah, no, we use, I've got a bottle of Express in a spray bottle and a very soft horsehair brush that I use to clean our leather couches in the house. So, because my kids keep doing stuff on them that they're not supposed to be doing. And to vacuum food out of it the other day. All right. Frank L. saying, howdy and happy Friday Eve. Do you have a recommendation for a coating to apply outdoors? Or do you think we should wait to be able to coat indoors? So, Frank, there's a video on our YouTube channel of me coating a car in Diamond Body 18 when I was in Italy last year at the Maserati Museum in the driveway, in the front area of the museum in the shade. And I was able to do it. You can coat all of them outside. I will recommend, though, that the easiest ones to use are Gloss Coat, Diamond Body 18, and Inspiration Soul. It's very easy. And the main reason for those is because of the ability that a lot of the times you can put them on and just wipe them off. So you can do a fender and wipe off that fender. You can do a door, apply it onto a door, wipe off that door. That's it. So your time is quicker on a lot of those. Gloss Coat, Optimum Gloss Coat, you have a longer time to let it sit. Same with Soul. Diamond Body 18 or just Diamond Body is one that is a immediate apply, remove. The other ones you can go a couple panels, come back. The key for that is, though, the amount of dust outside, especially on a windy day or something like that. So I always try to keep all three of those at the same time, just kind of wipe on, wipe off kind of deal. Ed saying rinseless is indeed a skill set. Knowing what products and tools are most efficient makes all the difference. That's right, Ed. And then Eric saying, being one of the guys that are dragging their feet, jumping onto the detailing as a side hustle, my holdup is the extra time away from the fam, but I am tired of working for someone else. So yeah, Eric, I'm going to agree with you. That's why I only do one car, because I try and schedule cars that are 4 to 6 hours over the course of a 48-hour weekend. That way I still have time to spend with my family. Because that is the hardest thing, especially if you book yourself out for the whole weekend. You're working 7 days a week and in nights. With kids, we only have a couple hours a night with them before they go to bed. And so unless you're changing your hours to do that stuff on your own, like you're working after they go to sleep, or you're getting up extra early and you're working, or, whatever, that is the biggest thing. The other thing you might try doing is seeing if it's something maybe your wife wants to help. If you're in this and you're like, I think I can make this work, but I need your help, ask her and see. There's a lot of women getting into the industry and getting into that, and a lot of husband-wife teams that are doing really good with the business and growing a business together. It's up to you, man. It's really on what you can do. So, and what you want to do together. Carly came out this weekend and asked if there was anything she could help with. At the time, I didn't have anything to help. Like I wasn't in a spot that I needed her help, but I was very thankful that she came out and asked. It meant a lot. So. G says, I don't believe in coincidences, so I'm going to say Dane had an ulterior motive to go to Romeoville. Oh, man. And then Darren saying, hey, Levi, I hope you're well. Sorry I haven't been in tonight. Not very well at the moment. Hope you're well, my man. Darren, I'm so sorry that you're not feeling good, man. I hope you're doing better, brother. Thank you, though, for tuning in. And Umberto saying hello as well. Darren saying hello. And then he says, now I'm going to go climb back into my little hole and go to sleep. Much love, my man. We'll catch up tomorrow. Have a good listen. Enjoy. Take a nap. Sleep. Good night, brother. Feel better. And then Alex saying, Levi, you nailed the pronunciation of Worcestershire. Thank you, man. I still messed it up. We'll just say I did. Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire. Flack Pro saying, where does DIY fall into this rinseless ranking? So I have the DIY rinseless. I haven't used it yet. But I will tell you it's a soap-based rinseless, I think. Don't quote me on that, but it's very similar to the other types of rinseless on the market that aren't O&R or Absolute. So, but it's good. It works. Ed saying, lol to Alex, and then Graham telling Darren to feel better soon, and then Shakeem saying, I understand I'm an aircraft detailer and currently using Absolute, but was wondering if I should switch to N914 since it's a pure cleaner. They're both pure. So O&R is a pure cleaner and Absolute is a pure cleaner. N914 is a pure cleaner as well. So there's no need to switch. Absolute leaves nothing behind. O&R leaves nothing behind. So, no big deal. Too many people get on this tangent of going like, oh, they leave something behind. It's not anything that's going to interfere with anything else. Does that make sense? So, think about that. G. Davis saying, after selling the Miata, does Anthony plan on buying an Italian car to complete his Axis of Evil car collection? Who knows? We'll see. We'll have to see. He might. And then G saying, this past week I wrote checks to pay for my daughter's wedding and to put a new AC in my crib. So I may be interested in working at TRC over the summer. Sounds great, G. We would love to have you. Might be able to do some remote, maybe some customer service. You never know. Keith Duplessis saying, bead maker and now Defender are awesome in the kitchen. Well, there you go. You get it from the man himself. Counters, sinks, appliances, as well as shower glass. There you go. Another reason to buy those products. And then Gary from Long Island Detail Supply saying, question regarding household coatings. Exterior windows, ocean facing. Could Inspiration View be used? Yeah, you could. For fresh polished countertops, could Legend be used? How about raw, uncleared stainless steel? So Gary, yes on the glass, no on the countertops, and no on the stainless steel. I would ask Dave Phillips. Primarily for the countertops because of the fact that it is a food-safe surface. So you want to just make sure that everything's right, before you do that. And then raw, uncleared stainless steel. The hard part with stainless steel is it can oxidize, and it's metal, so that coating may not last very long on the surface. And then asking, can that be coated? But yep. And then G, when Dane and Anthony hosted Solo, they only did an hour each. I hope everyone will shame them while saluting Levi for being a 120-minute man. That's what everybody says to me. There you go. There goes Levi, that 120-minute man. He knows what's up. That's right. No, Carly did say, she goes, do you think you could do an hour and close it down? And I said, it could, but we'll see how the show goes. If there's questions, right? Umberto saying, check out Miranda Detailing. You'll see a successful couple detailing. Yep. And then Hans says, who is your sister? My sister? I got 2 sisters, Hans. Is that what you mean? Elaborate, Hans. And then Raphael saying, Levi, how's it going? I was curious. I've seen people use distilled vinegar as a laundry softener. Would you recommend using distilled vinegar in a wash with microfibers? Yes, you can, and I used to recommend it. Put it in the bleach port if you want to do that. Use distilled white vinegar in the bleach port. However, if you're using rags to riches, there is no need to do that. You can just use an extra rinse, put it on the extra rinse cycle, and just wash it normally. So wash it with rags to riches and then just do another rinse. And Eric saying, I will do, thanks. And then Graham says, Levi, it's just Worcester sauce. And G saying, thoughts on the new Flash trailer? I'm excited. I'm interested to see it. I am. I'm very interested to see. I've watched the trailer. I like the whole 90s Michael Keaton Batman. I'm very excited about seeing him in it. So I think it's going to be kind of one of those funner ones, you know. And then Kimberly saying, greetings. I understand the importance of not using certain products in direct sunlight, but how about mentioning so you don't miss stuff? Oh, my word. The driver mirror between the panel. Oh, my Lord. Yeah. So the driver mirror between panel. Yeah. So there's the biggest thing is, like you said, don't miss stuff. I always try to pull. So I'll work in the garage and I usually try to pull the car out and park it in my driveway somewhere facing a certain way so that I can see things in the window. And I always try to do a walk around because you always find something. You always see like a piece of trim that maybe has a run that didn't get wiped, or there's a spot on the bumper that you missed, or this fender has a high spot, or this. So it's always good to pull it out and definitely make sure. So when I'm doing that, that's when I bring out Dreammaker. When I'm doing my final walk around, I use Dreammaker on the outsides for all the surfaces. So. All right, let's see here. David Boyce says, I used DIY in my foamer because it has foaming capabilities, because it's soap-based, rinseless. And then Alex saying, G. Davis has customer support. Count me in. That would be a hoot. That would be pretty funny. Ed Iverson saying, could you do a quick refresher on the difference between a polymer-based and a surfactant-based rinseless wash media? So a surfactant-based is going to clean the same way as a polymer. The difference in the polymer is the polymer has a tendency to grab and bind and push that stuff kind of it gets rid of it. It kind of lifts it and repels it. Surfactant actually cleans and destroys in a sense, right? That's kind of what it does. Scrubs a little bit. But yeah, that not much difference between the two. They're pretty similar in that sense. But that would be a real question for like Dr. G or Dave Phillips. Joey saying, I would love it if my wife would clean the wheels and lowers. She's 17 inches shorter than me. That would really save my back. There you go. Good use of your wife there. Keith saying, put Defender on those. On the raw, on the countertops, maybe. And then Han saying, G. Davis, the new towel fluffer and snapper. There you go. And then Jakeem saying, thanks for easing my concerns. While hearing it from you, squash the back and forth mental debate. Thank you, Jakeem. Yeah, there's no difference in that leaving anything behind for the three of those. And then All Day Anthony popping in to say, I have to say that the restrooms at Car Supplies Warehouse is top notch. Many of you know that All Day Anthony is a fine purveyor of different bathrooms at different locations. He's also a very large YouTube star, so it doesn't surprise me that he would be at the Car Supplies Warehouse influencer meet and greet or weekend or whatever it is. So very nice. Thank you, All Day Anthony, for popping in and letting us know. Very nice. Joey saying, gonna need a full review. Ed Iverson saying, thanks for hanging in there with us, Levi. We do appreciate your efforts. Oh, thank you guys for being here. And then everybody waving. Worcestershire, a.k.a. who's your sister? Worcestershire. I get it. Get it. Got it. Mm-hmm. And then Eric saying, bringing us the important info from Chicago, from Anthony. And then Joey saying, Levi's absolutely killing it. Round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very nice of all of you. I appreciate you all tuning in. G. Davis saying, Anthony enjoyed their Blue Bead Maker bidet. That's actually where most of the Blue Bead Maker went. The leftovers. And then Alex saying, all day, Anthony, we're going to need some flushing B-roll. Don't drop the mic this time. And then Joey Belinsky saying, G. Davis, have you seen Quantumania yet? I have not yet. And then Kevin saying, G. Davis is a customer service rep. I can just hear the elaborate excuses on how Dane used my shower. And then G saying, yes, Joey, I did, and I didn't care for it. And then Hugo Fireflies says, the rag company you advertised tire dressing on motorcycles. Well, we'll give them a call and let them know and see what happened. And then Ryan saying, good evening, Levi. Thank you for not canceling today. As always, enjoying your voice. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. And then G. Davis saying, Kevin, I was hoping I could just go from office to office roasting TRC employees, starting with Dave from accounting. That was great. I love that. Then Spencer saying, hey, Levi, I have a black 2020 M3 that is ceramic coated in Ultra CS, so that's CSU. I usually hand wash it weekly, but I want to do a touchless for the light dust and stuff. Super or active foam. Touchless wash. Okay. Super foam's fine. If it's just light dust, super foam's fine. G. Davis says, Anthony tipped the bathroom attendant with a TRC glove box towel. You know, those things are as good as gold. It's like the gold coins in John Wick, right? Glove box towels, you got to have a stack. It's how you pay for things in the new world. That's what it's all about. I need to go see if I can find some glove box towels. And then In Focus saying, is Defender going to be up soon? Want to give it a try. I'm pretty sure it's on there now. If not, it will be there tomorrow. It's on there. Yep. They're saying it's on the site now. Just check for myself. In Focus saying, I just missed it, I guess. I just looked. And then G. Davis says, tell us about the new MOS podcast, G. So it's Carly and I. We're doing a little podcast. So you're just going to have to be patient. It'll drop. Don't worry. We're going to have it out there. So I will tell you more come maybe Tuesdays. All right. Grant Hottree saying this is a gangster show. Thank you. Thank you, Grant. And then Joey saying, actual question. The little drying towel that comes with the 4x4 off-road pack, is that a purple liquidator? The little drying towel. Is that a purple liquidator? I'm going to have to pull that up and take a look. I don't recall that towel. Let me see here. Let's look. Sorry, bear with me, guys. Let's see here. So the 4x4 off-road pack. There's the Baja pack, the 4x4 pack. There we go. That is, yes, it is a little liquidator. Yeah, that's what that is. It is comes with two towels, comes with a 1100 twist loop. So yeah, it's a little liquidator. That's right. Good pickup, Joey. All Day Anthony says, Jamie got to witness firsthand how long it takes for Dane to adjust mirrors and his seat in the rental car. Almost excruciating to witness in person. Internally screaming, go Dane, drive! That's awesome. So Jamie the cleaner, that's what he's talking about. That is great. Gary from Long Island saying, what could be the life expectancy of those windows? Also, the glass railings are being requested. 1 or 2 layers. About 1,100 square feet of glass. How much would I need approximately? Gary, that's a question for Keith Duplessis. Sorry, Keith, you got to do this one. I would say at least 2 layers. 1,100 square feet. I think you're probably going to need a few bottles, probably probably 5 for good measure, just in case. Depends on how much you can get out of what a windshield square footage is, because you can get 10 windshields out of a bottle of View. So, yeah, you might have to talk to Keith and see. Hans says, I still have 10 of those glove box towels. Whoa. That's like I said, that's a John Wick level flex when you've got 10 glove box towels, like I said, equal in value to those coins. So very nice. G. Davis says, Dane and Jamie are doing a personal appearance at the local Crawdad Shack and Brothel. Didn't know they had those in Chicago. Hugo saying, will Absolute or O&R leave spots on matte paint, or is it as safe as on gloss paint? Absolutely safe on matte finishes. Demo saying, hashtag Levi lasts longer. Tip of the cap to you, sir. Great Dane says, my feet literally couldn't reach the pedals. The person who sat there before me and gave me the truck was probably a whole foot taller than me. Okay, again, excuses. Just saying, when you got in, you could have been moving the seat forward, grabbing the seat belt, hooking it in. By that time, you're already up to the steering wheel. You can then check your mirrors, grab them, pull them down, start the car. As you're pulling out on the road, you start adjusting your mirrors because you're only looking forward. You're not looking behind you, Dane. You don't need to adjust the mirrors until you're on the road and you actually see what you need to see. Just saying. Again, they're making the best of it. And then Joey says it was Jack Reacher that was there before you. And then G. Davis, if I ever did work at TRC, I would enable free international shipping for Hans Closen. That would probably not be good, and you'd probably bankrupt the company. Hans says, I will order by DM then. And then G. Davis says, Dane, follow the yellow brick road. And then Ed Iverson saying, my glove box towels are currently secured in a vault next to my Drago's version 1.0. Ooh. I was walking around the building the other day and I found 8 Dragos in a bag returned from Amazon. So, I'm feeling pretty good. Those are probably worth half of a John Wick coin, the Dragos. So I've got like 4 John Wick coins on my desk right now. Pretty good. Grant Hotry, got a good question. What 3 polishing tools would you have? Mine is a rotary, a 15 millimeter, and a nano. So I'm a rotary, a 15 mil, and a 3-inch long throw. That's me. Boys are Umberto laughing at Dane. G says, I also support the GoFundMe for the 3 children Luke Burke. I'd also support that during TRC 2021. Oh, goodness gracious. And then Joey saying, I'm willing to bet that Dane has fewer accidents on his records than any of us due to his excessive safety rituals. He has 1 accident and 1 speeding ticket. The accident was him and Dat Booty when he crashed into a curb. So, it happens to the best of us. G saying, do you guys have any of those huge irregular wash mitts left? I don't know, G. We'll have to go look around. They might be there. My guy Kirby saying, when is the Avery PPF class? So we don't have an Avery PPF class. We have an Avery Tint class this year here at the Rag Company. Kirby, go to Avery Dennison's website or just Google Avery Dennison certification trainings, and it'll pull up another link that'll show you all the trainings and certification classes, and you can pick PPF, color change wrap. I think they have another one for like business wrapping, like for vans and stuff, and then they have the tint on there. You might be able to find a PPF class local to you or near to you. Out of Houston there. So go to Avery Dennison, like literally Avery Dennison PPF certification or PPF class. Just Google it and it'll take you to that link. Dane says, regardless of what technicalities the others want to throw in to make themselves look better, the fact remains 100% true. And then Joey says, G. Davis, don't talk about Anthony that way. And then Hans says rotary 15 and a Rupes battery 3-inch. There you go. That's a good one. And then Dane chiming in, yelling, I have 0 accidents. Again, except for that one time when he hit a curb. He wasn't paying attention. He was looking at his phone, texting. It's fine. Happens to all of us. And then G. Davis says, Dane actually beeps when he backs up. It's true. He's so worried about other accidents because that one really, really hurt him. It really scarred him for life. And then Dane laughing. Randy Ricochet says, thanks for holding down the fort and keeping the show going this week for us. You're welcome, Randy. Thank you for tuning in. And then Matt Henning saying, what do you recommend for protection on a Bronco or Jeep soft top windows? Couple things here. So for soft top windows, if you haven't already, I would look at the Best Top, Rag Top, or the Rag Top kits that we have available for the soft tops. They will work on the windows to clean that kind of stuff. The other thing is you might actually, if you want, on the outside, you could even put some PPF on there just to help protect those surfaces from scratching or things like that. Biggest thing though is you can coat those. UV is what damages them the most, and so you do want to take care of that. But I would recommend looking at the Ragtop products we have on our site. They do work for they all work. Everything works for the vinyl windows, soft top windows. And then Rocky Iverson saying, IDA is finally making its way here to to Hawaii. I don't want to say Miami. My eyes are blurring. But congratulations, Rocky. I'm really proud of you for joining the IDA and getting your CD and then getting your SV next. Good work. Then Grant says, while Dane is in Chicago, say hello to the hometown hero, CM Punk, best in the world. I'm sure they're going to meet with him later, maybe. Joey saying, hopefully Dane doesn't scrape the Flex ding-dongs along the curb. That's what I hope. He just got those things powder-coated. We don't want him hitting those again. And those wheels are arguably just as big as the Dat Booty wheels. So, and then Kirby saying, Levi, refill that gulp before you leave the office. You have talked nonstop and need to get some. I know, normally I finish one through the whole show, and this one's like halfway through. So, thank you guys for coming along. Thank you guys for being a part of this, and thank you for tuning in. For those of you at home, the boys were in Chicago this week, so it's just me, and that's why I'm doing it. Happy King's Day to everybody in the Netherlands, and we will see you guys on Tuesday. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.